Greetings. I wasn't planning on making a video today, but I was watching the Lady Gravedancer's one of her latest videos, which she called Welcome to My Weirdness, and I thought it was so much fun. I wanted to say that first of all. It was very fun, and if you did not get a chance to see it, please go over to her channel and check it out. It's very cute. She is so charming, and I love all of her videos, but this one I particularly loved. It just made me laugh. She's talking about some of the things that her family and friends have said to her, commented, that just said a little bit of weird, and so she sort of confessed up to some of them, and of course right away people started, responding, and that they had some similarities, and I have to admit that I had quite a few myself, so I thought, oh, it would be fun to make a video response, but also I thought, I would like to say something first. It really meant a lot to me to watch this video, and I think it was really perfect timing. This is something that she's really a master of, but this is sort of a broken time, in a lot of the social media with all that's happening in the world and people sort of getting on each other's nerves, etc. And I just was reflecting about, some of the losses we've had here in the YouTube community, some of the people that are not here anymore, or some of the people that are just not active. They're a little afraid to be active for whatever reason. And I was just reflecting on the fact that I came to the YouTube community, I think in part because I was looking for sort of a place to feel comfortable, like I think some of us share that trait as well. Like I'm a very active person. I'm involved with a lot of people on a daily basis, but I don't always feel like I belong. I've felt like that all my life. I've always felt a little different from other people, and I think a lot of us share that commonality. And when we came to YouTube, the reason the community meant so much to us was because not only do we share interests in, we are sharing, walking some of us the same path as far as our spirituality goes, but also we found other people that are really a lot like us. So when I saw this video, it just made me smile. It made me feel good. It was a really comforting feeling, and thank you, Lady Gravedancer, for that. You do that every day with your videos. You always make us feel like we're a part of your life, even those of us that you may never even meet in person. And so I just wanted to come on and just make my own, for my own benefit. I wanted to tell her the few things that I do share with her that I thought worth mentioning, and then just a few of my own, because I feel safe. I feel safe to say them in front of you, my viewers. So I wrote them down. I wrote the ones down that I wanted to mention, so I'm going to put on my glasses, if you don't mind. Of course, I always have glasses on. Why do you care? Anyway, a few of the things that I do share with her. First of all, I have to say, again, if you have not seen her video, please go, because she's like a scream. She's a scream. I laughed at a few of them. I will not give you any spoilers, but I just want to say two things to her: Q-tips and dead things. You just make me smile. You're so precious. You're so precious. I want to kiss your cheeks. The ones that I share, a few that I share that are worth mentioning. I don't want to talk to anybody wearing sunglasses either. I do think it's rude, but I also think it's sort of a power trip with people. If you notice, somebody who always wears sunglasses, at least here, are the police. And that's sort of, I've never really been stopped by, I've never had a driving ticket. One time when I was very young, I had a warning, so I did get stopped. But I've seen enough of it to know that when they do stop and come up to your window, the policeman comes up to your window and he's wearing sunglasses. Oh, that's a little bit intimidating, isn't it? You can't see his eyes, and it's just sort of like a power thing. So I don't like that either. So I share that with her. I also share, I wash the wet, I'll call it, off of my hands as well. If I get a little bit of wet, I have to wet my whole hands. Same thing. She also mentioned she could not face her husband when they were sleeping. I don't either. I don't like that. And we sort of have an issue on that because my husband, he thinks he can breathe better on the one side, so I don't want to make him not breathe because that wouldn't be very fun. So I have come up with a solution, because when he is like facing me, it's not that he's sucking my breath so much. I feel like he's staring at me. Even though my eyes are closed, his eyes are closed, I feel him staring at me, and I'm like, quit staring at me. I want to sleep. So my solution is what he calls the Great Wall, which is a pillow that I put between our faces. I hold it up near my face. So there's a pillow between our heads. But the rest of us, I don't mind his feet, and I put my feet under his legs, and I don't care what happens down there. But it's the faces. Of course, I talk to myself. I think most of us do talk. I answer myself. I sing to myself. I tell myself stories. I think most of us do, but I think it's especially common, I have to say, in married women, because at least we are assured that that is one person, ourself, who will be listening to what we are saying. So, okay. Everything in my house has a place too. I'm not a neat nick or anything. But I go to an extreme. My kitchen drawers and cupboards, everything is exactly where it is supposed to be, and I get nuts when people put things in the wrong place. And I have a lot of people in my kitchen from time to time. We entertain a lot, and I have a family that comes in. We cook together. When things are put in the wrong place, I get a little nuts. And I look like I'm a very big neatnik in my kitchen. If you come into my office and you see, we have 2 computers and 2 desks in our office. We run a business out of that office, and both desks I'm in charge of, and they're a disaster. My personal desk with my personal computer on it is what we call Mrs. Femister's desk, after a very beloved teacher that I had in junior high who had a desk like that with just mountains of papers and little post-its stuck in just everything. And people would come in and think, oh, what a mess you have. Well, no, I know exactly where everything is. My thing is, I'm involved in so many things at one time that I want all of my stuff together where I can get to it when I need it. Yeah, I do more than one thing at a time. So on my little desk pull-out, I will have, right now, there's all kinds of things on there. There's a clipboard with our weekly planner for our menu for our home, and my list for Thanksgiving, and it has information. I'm working on a website, so it has information from my website. I'm doing some research. It has some books. It has my book that I record all of my chicken notes in it, stuff about my chickens. I keep track of how many eggs I get, etc. That's all in there. I also have a fingering chart for a crumb horn, which is another bizarre thing. I've got all this stuff, plus many more things. Oh, I have my calendar for planning, another thing. I have a part-time job that I have to schedule. All of this stuff is piled just on the little pull-out, from the desk. I have piles everywhere. So that's just the way I do. I can function that way. Other people could not function at the desk, which is perhaps why I do it, because it keeps people away from my desk. I don't know. Okay. So, and people, when they come into my house, if they move my stuff, particularly furniture or something, really, really does bother me, and I'm sort of waiting till they leave, just like Tequila said, so I can put it back where it goes. And I'm like, why are they moving my stuff? It makes me nuts. Anyway, I just wanted to add a few things of my own about me that people have said. I don't find them unusual, but, one thing causes me problems. I have 2 things that cause me problems on the computer. I am an email hoarder. I have trouble deleting emails. I mean, what if I have to read that email again? I don't know. I know I can go in the deleted file and get it again. I end up with millions of emails. I don't know. And I have so many emails in there that I don't even read email very well anymore. It's not a good way to communicate with me because I can't even find your email. And I'm a tab hoarder. A tab, on the internet, a tab. Open a new tab, and save them. I don't want to close my tabs because what if I want to go back and see that thing? I'm not done looking at that thing, and it does slow down my computer. It causes me problems. A friend came and showed me a tab thing. I could make a clipper thing that I could clip it. I don't know. A note clipper. I don't know what it's called. But in like 2 days, I sort of maxed out almost on my clipper, so not such a great idea. But anyway, okay, so that's something. I used to treat, I say used to because I don't do it too much anymore, but treat inanimate objects like like they had feelings. I think all children do that, of course, but I didn't really grow out of a lot of that. Like, for instance, I wanted to give things turns. Like, if I use this glass, I want to use this glass and give people a turn. I don't want to, well, they're not even people, they're glasses. You see my point, that I don't want them to hurt their feelings. And even speaking of stuffed animals, I have still my very first doll that when I was one, so that's a very old doll, and a couple stuffed animals in a trunk. Now, I know they're stuffed animals, I know they're dolls, but I don't like to cover their face, and I don't like to put anything on top of them that would hurt them. I really guard against that, so I guess I haven't. It's not so much that I'm sentimental about them, I have them, I just can't get rid of them because I don't want to hurt their feelings, to be honest. I don't want them to feel like I don't want them anymore, because that would be terrible for them. I guess that's a little weird, I'm not sure. Many of my things have, or not many, but the ones that I get, my weird traits, if you want to call them weird, that my friends and family criticize me for most are related to my food or my drink. I have water every night and taken to bed every night, and my husband used to bring in a pitcher of water, to put on the bedside every night. And every night I had to have that replaced because the water that was standing there all day, I can't drink again. It would have to go away, which is a big waste of water. Well, it wasn't a waste. We gave it to put it for the pets. But when it's been standing too long, I really don't want to drink it, even though it's just a couple hours. I think that's one of the reasons I have so much ice. I put so much ice into my drinks. More ice usually than beverage. Because as it melts down, as this is doing, it keeps it fresh somehow. I can't, with food, if I've eaten off of my fork or my plate, and I put my fork down, or I stopped eating for a matter of just minutes, I can't tell you how many minutes, but there is a line that I cross, where I cannot use that fork again. I cannot put anything more on that plate. I have to get a new plate. Like if I'm, people that are having a little dessert or whatever, put it on their plate. Oh, I could never do that. Or I have to get a new fork because I've used that fork. It's not germs. It's not germs. I'm not phobic about germs. I can share a fork with my husband. I'm not, or drink out of a glass, share with somebody else as long as they're not sick. I don't mind. It's a matter of time. It's time. And if we go out to dinner, let's say, and you always get too much of a portion and people take it home, well, I have to plan. If I'm going to take anything home, I have to plan it before I start eating, divide my plate in half or whatever, and push aside what I'm going to take home. Never go near it with my fork. Never go into that area of the plate with my fork. If I get a box, I have to put it in myself. It has to slide in. It can never flip. If it flips over, I can't eat it. So I don't know if that's weird or not. I'm not sure. Oh, I've gone out with people who they'll take anybody's leftovers, they'll get a box. Oh, you don't want that? I'll take that. Or you want this? I was with a friend one time who had her dinner and my dinner, and she put in a piece of cake on top of it, and then she took the apple and put the apple. It was from Clam Jumper. They used to give apples that everybody threw away because they were too full for an apple. But she'd stick that on top of her cake, and used to make me nuts. Okay. Anyway. Tablets and notebooks. I love office supplies. Ugh. I love tablets and Post-its and things and notebooks, and I love them, and I love them in colors, and it drives my husband crazy because he's trying to run an office, a business, and I want, oh, don't get that color. We had that color last week. We have to have a different color. So anyway, I have different colors, different sizes. And this drives him nuts because I always need new tablets or need new notebooks or whatever, because if I dedicate a notebook or a tablet to something, a subject, and I write on the first page, that sort of is dedicated to that subject. And I can't use the other pages in that notebook for something else without difficulty. So I have a lot of tablets, little tablets, you know, the little tablets this big, which I love, that have, I guess you can't say, you know, the little tablets. They have like the first page or two written on, and the rest is a perfectly new tablet, and I'm looking for another tablet. I've got drawers of tablets that I have to go, which is the tablet for this. And if I'm writing a list, I love to write lists, but if I make a mistake, like if I write something wrong and I have to cross it out, I've got to start over with a new list, new page. I don't want my list. If it's crossed out, it means I've done it. It's not, oh, that was a mistake. I could not do that. And finally, one more. I mean, they're not as near very interesting, but one more is I have right socks and left socks. Now, I know most people have the thing, do you put on both socks and then both shoes, or do you put on sock, shoe? Are you a sock, sock, shoe, shoe, or a sock, shoe kind of person? Well, I'm a sock, sock, shoe, shoe, left sock, left shoe, right shoe. But that doesn't affect my life too much because I don't wear a lot of shoes. I live in California. We don't really, you know, socks are my shoes in the winter, mostly. But, so anyway, right now I'm in sock weather. So in the house, our house is on a slab, and a concrete slab, so the floor is always cold, even though it's 80 degrees outside today, 85 I think it's going to be today. The floor is very cold, and my feet are very cold, and I have big, thick slipper socks, you know, on my feet. But if I'm going to go outside, I will slip off my socks, or I will, especially to my chicken coop, I'm going in and out all the time, and I have to take off my socks to put on my chicken shoes outside the door, whatever. So I have to take care that I keep my left sock and my right sock in place. So when I go to put them back on, I'm putting my left sock back on my left foot, my right sock back on my right foot. And if not, I feel it. I can feel it, and I feel it's funny, and I want to change my socks. So I don't know if that's weird or not. It might be normal. That might be the way you are too. Anyway, this was just for fun. It was just for fun. And I again, if you have not watched Lady Gravedancer's video, please go over and watch it. She's so much fun, and I'd love to hear your comments below if you share any of these things with me or with both of us, or make a video response if you wish. I love video responses. But anyway, just thanks for listening. I'm sorry if I disappoint you that this wasn't anything more interesting than this, but it's a fun thing for a Friday, so I wish you have a very happy weekend. And thank you again for coming to my channel. I'm Rebecca, and I wish you blessings.